Welcome back. It's Lone Wolf, and we're playing Vintage Story 119.5 on a world that I created in 118.15. And we're continuing that here. And currently we're setting up the farm expansion. Placing the final border into the ground. Kind of an optimistic thing, really. Hey, you think you can do all that? Well, I don't know. We'll see. At the end, we'll know. We've got Terra Preta for 5 more lots on the farm. And we've already expansion that is in the bank, shall we say. Right now, let's see what I can't do. I think I'm using this anytime soon, right now. Start putting some fencing up. I was anxious and I started putting fence up prematurely. What can I say? Excited. It'd be a very large farm if and when I get enough soil, but that just will mean that it's the size of farm that I like. I am quite happy with what I've got right now. I do want it to be larger. And if I'm lucky, I'll actually find more Terra Preta in the world. I think any part of the game that has been generated has a chance of still having Terra Preta in it, but I'm not holding my breath about that. Okay. We have one tall. Where are those guys coming from, I wonder? Gonna need more fence. And I know I don't need all that. I'm grabbing it anyways. the second level of fence up. Start working on placing some soil. And the way that this is sitting right now, we'll end up having temporary fence going through the middle. So keep soil that shouldn't be able to spawn rabbits, raccoons, whatever, separated from the rest of it. Because the last thing I want is to offer up my farm to creatures of the world. So I tried hard to plan this so that when I expanded it, the apiary would be right at the end of this. But I wasn't trying to them to join. So there is a one wide path there. But it feels more like two because these blocks aren't. So, you know, there's half a block. From each. That's what you wanted. Because there's half a block that is showing here and here, so it's wider than just one block wide. It feels wider, I should say. Since I've got some dirt on me. So we'll get this filled here. I think I want at least one more wide on this end. Ask me why. It's an aesthetic thing, just seems to make sense to me. Had not been doing this because I kept expanding farther and farther in this direction. It switches south. Just wanted to make sure before I named that Cartesian coordinate. One up here as well. There's no practical reason for needing this extra bit. Thinking that's how I'd like it. Like that's it for the dirt that I had on me. Okay. Definitely don't need all of this. Probably not even a half stack. Let's see, we gotta have some food. So I want that because right now we've got grass growing in here. And things can spawn, so I don't want things getting into planted, cultivated, and growing farm just yet. I don't want it ever, not just yet. So I have to protect that until I get all of this. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh. Okay. Like, what's going on? If you've been watching, you know that I don't just have everything in the world planted that I can plant, have room for. I barely am only planting those primary crops that I actually use, that I prefer, that produce the best value. Well, if you were to say, well, why are you doing this? Well, if you already don't use all the land you have. You know? Over time, you'll see how I use it. But primarily, the answer is real simple. So that I have far more in the ground than I could ever possibly use at one point. And because in the ground is the best color in the game, as in preservation. I do have world config set so that crops don't die, so I'm not concerned about my crops dying. They'll die from either too much heat or too much cold. And so I'm saying I have that turned off. And that is something you do with a command. And I don't play with the default settings. I play with settings as I like them. But I still think I'm playing a pretty legit playthrough. We've had crop death turned off on servers before too, so it's not just me. That's how I would do it, regardless of who else did what or not. My primary goal in playing this game is for enjoyment. It's not a test of anything. It's just, number one, first and foremost, is enjoy it. Alright, so we have established what the current size of the farm is going to be, having now placed the soil. So now I know where this fence needs to go up. Then as we expand it, as we get more soil and expand the farm, then we will be transferring fence to new locations, reposition it. Oh, come on, wolf. You can do better. Oh wow. Now I can take this down. In fact, I can take it down all the way to where we got that fence placed. I guess this is also a little premature because this soil is not cultivated, and the water canal is not with water, the water channel. And so, yeah, things could spawn there. So let's start taking care of this. Place this on every block because I don't want any water flow. When I first started placing it, I was putting it, I wasn't putting it every block, because if you place it further down, you know, it looks like, oh, that's great, it's full. Having played plenty more since then, find that there's water flow, and that's because some blocks just aren't right. So at this point, I do this on every block. Oh, woof. Trying to, oh. Wow. Just trying to place the bucket. Then we have a couple of hoses here. It will likely not be enough. So we'll be making more hose out here as we go. So now we're cultivating the soil, which now makes it farm soil, farmland. If you do this before the water's placed, the soil can go completely dry, and it doesn't ruin the soil, but it takes quite a while for it to recover its moisture. So get done. Yeah. So I just get the water placed before I cultivate it. Pretty sure we're going to need between 2 and 3 more hoes, because each hoe gives you 40. Each of these plots is 32. So this one will finish this out. 2 might do it. you'll see. But I know I'm not maybe needing more hose. And we have the Napster mod on. Makes doing these things much less time consuming and less error prone. And I've napped far too many things in my life. I still do it if I'm playing on the server. And if Napster's not there, I'm not opposed to still doing all the things that I had to do by hand. Not a big deal, but playing by myself, quality of life is what I'm choosing. Time doing things that are tedious. Plenty of things that are still tedious. That we're not eliminating that from the game, but just eliminating some things. Just allows me to do more playing than tediousness. It's just my personal choice. You should play the story the way you want to. You have lots of choices how to play. As do I. And I mentioned this way back at the beginning of this whole series. When you create a new world, yeah, check it out. If you don't like that world, don't play that world. Make another one. It doesn't cost you anything to do, and I don't know how anything could be negative by choosing to play a world that you prefer over not. But I think there are people, and it's okay, that feel obligated to play whatever world finished story generates, and that is a perfectly valid way to do this. Don't happen to feel like that's a requirement. Hey, this is exciting. How much bigger the farm got. This is great. So one thing that I'm always good for hunting. More flax, even if I have lots of flax. Alright. So I'm going to plant all these seeds. All of this, when I planted the flax down here, all this that we just walked through, hadn't recovered sufficiently from the K nutrition in the soil. And while certainly there was enough to plant the crop and have it grow, and a higher level of nutrition also affects the growth speed of the crop. So it doesn't cost me anything, just time and some patience to let that soil recover, and I like to recover it fully before I replant in it, but I'm not hard-nosed about that. If it's close to fully recovered, it's probably good enough for me. This will almost fill this plot. We'll just be 3 short. Go. Okay, now this is all fully recovered here. We can plant whatever we want. So the cabbage is the primary thing I'm growing right now because it's what I have fewest seeds of, and I have plenty of rice and peanuts sitting in storage, and so I don't need them for food right now, but I do want to continue to propagate the seeds. That is to say, when you plant seeds and then you harvest, you'll get a certain percentage of seed recovery beyond what you had originally planted. So if this is 32 blocks of soil, which it is, I can put 32 seeds in it. And when I harvest it, I should, but not guaranteed, I should always get more than 32 seeds back after the crop has fully matured and I harvest it. If you harvest it before it's fully matured, then whatever extra seeds you might get, if any, would be greatly reduced. And if you harvest it early enough, you might not even get that seed back that you put in the ground. So eventually what I like to do is have more of all of my food out in the farm and less of it in the cellar. Really fresh. But he's rotting. I think that's great. You also don't need a huge cellar that way either. Making a cellar larger is a difficult thing, of course. Okay. Pieces of dirt. Put some food in my belly. So now I need to restock on some of my food supplies. Particular fruit. The bread is gone now. Top off my nuts and add some more color ice. This place is so hot. Right now it's 103 degrees Fahrenheit, so yellow rice doesn't last as long as it would if I were in a cold area. And without that ice, things definitely spoil faster. Okay, so I'm just going to scrape these right now, and then as I'm ready, we'll put these in and start processing them. But at this point I get to do full amounts instead of these partials. But with 19, your hides shelf life. And if you don't... Oh, what am I doing? Oh, is that full? Okay, I see. Is this thing empty or not? Okay. Empty hand. Grab that barrel. Grab this barrel. Both these barrels look nice and 19. 17, they just do great things. Okay. So those are all liquids, so now I'll just get my lime solution back in here so that it's ready when I have need for it. And most importantly, these hides are now no longer on a clock. They can just live in this state forever, just as everything had for... So clearly I need to go grind some limestone. I think I might have some in the corn, but we'll find out. If I do, then we'll have enough lime ready to fill those 2 buckets full of water. And ready for leather. Well, it's nice that I can see my number. The user interface decided to cover that for me, so I couldn't see it. Whoa! What is this spawning in my base nonsense? So, I guess I didn't realize this through any of my play testing. This doesn't correspond with any experience that I had before, but it is what it is. I'm going to assume it's a lighting issue, but I don't know. I have to figure that out because I don't want drifters spawning inside my base. Okay, drifter. Yeah, up or down. One of the two, because can't... Oh, brother. And where did he disappear? Wow. Drifter. Okay, whatever. Let's see. So hides have been in here. I guess these are now going to live here. We've got lots of upgrading to do. And this is going to be the end of the episode here. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoyed playing, and if you like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing, and I appreciate all those who already have. Thank you so much. If you like a video, please click on that like button and let the world know. If you have questions, comments, anything you want to share with me, by all means, please do leave me that information in the comments section. And watch the next one with me, won't you? Thank you. Bye.